Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. Very special show tonight. I've got a gentleman who has just been named superintendent of the Millville Public School System, and Matt Mazzoni is with us. Matt, good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim. I
Really
appreciate
happy
it.
for you.
Yeah, looking forward to taking over on September 1st.
Right. Currently, you're the assistant principal or assistant superintendent.
Yeah,
right?
so the past 2 years I've been assistant superintendent.
And didn't you do a superintendent's gig somewhere?
Yeah, prior to coming to Millville, I spent the previous 4 years at Folsom School District in Atlantic County as the superintendent. So in that role, I was chief school administrator, so not just with a role as superintendent, but also as principal.
Yeah,
so
right.
Both.
And that size school, that's
Yeah,
very common
very
to be
common.
able to do that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Buna. His whole life, my cousin Joe Baruffi is the mayor of Buna, and everybody loves this guy. And so you grew up in Buna?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Buna on Vine Road.
Oh, that's neat.
You know Vine Road?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's close to Vineland. I grew up on a 100-acre flower farm with my father.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were fresh cut flowers.
Oh, what was your major flower?
Sunflowers.
Okay.
So, but you know what we did? Baby's breath. Back,
Yeah,
we did snapdragons, so pretty specific, and then we moved into sunflower farming, and then with my dad and uncle running the farm, it changed with the time, so we started making bouquets.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
That is really cool. And I was just telling Matt he hasn't heard the new vice president or the vice presidential candidate, Matt Walls, but Matt taught, Matt coached, and so did this guy, and he had a lot of
is
similarities.
that why you think I'm going there next?
Well, that would be a good step.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was on a farm. He grew up on a farm
Right.
as well. I really enjoyed listening to this guy. I just found him to be very interesting and, very informative. So I guess you decided you didn't want to take over the farm?
Yeah, so interesting enough, my father, so he was college educated, went to Monmouth University.
So did I.
You went to Monmouth?
Well, I went to Glassboro.
Glassboro.
I went to Monmouth one summer.
Okay, yeah. So my dad graduated from Monmouth University. So his parents, even a long time ago, they instilled in all the boys to make sure they went to college, had a college education.
That's super.
And then my dad went back on the farm, and I have a twin brother, Jeff, and we were both on the farm. That's what we wanted to do. We were farmers, but my dad's like, this is too hard to work. This is tough world. And we see it now. I have a little garden at home, and when the wind picks up and my tomato plant falls over, I say to my wife all the time, could you imagine if that's what you
did for a living.
Yeah, you did for a living, and you lose all that. So, but that is my roots, is farming. But my dad said, you need to go to college. And with that, went to Buna Regional High School, and I talk about a role model there. So, my mom and dad were definitely role models for me, but I played football for Coach Chuck Donahue.
Oh, my God. He was like the god.
So,
he's almost right there with Tony Cerise.
Right. So, to me, Coach Donahue was that model for me. So, I just wanted to follow in his footsteps. So, it was important for me. I wanted to be an educator. So, I said, what do I need to do? And I did that. So, I followed to become a special education teacher.
Me too.
There you go. Yeah.
That's in fact.
Yeah.
I went to Glassboro and got special ed. So, how many years did you teach special ed?
So I taught for 3 years, but this is an interesting story. So living in Buna on a farming community, you get done teaching, it's 3 o'clock, but when you live in a farming community, you can't just go home at 3 o'clock.
No.
So, I was getting different jobs, and I said, I need to go back to college. So in my first year teaching, I went back and went to Wilmington University to receive my master's in school leadership.
Right.
And, I get my master's. I don't think that I'm going to be using it or whatnot. But once again, I just believe doors opened for me.
Yeah.
And I had a superintendent in Buna at the time, Diane DiGiacomo. I don't know if you're familiar with her, Dr. DiGiacomo, another role model in my life. She came to me one day in the class. I was teaching middle school self-contained students. And she said, Matt, we have this new program coming to New Jersey. No one's ever heard of it, and it's working with at-risk students, and we believe you're the right fit for it.
Oh, that's super.
So I said, I trusted her, and I remember teachers like, don't do it. You're going to lose tenure and so forth. I'm like, I trust, I put my trust in her, And, it just opened many doors for me. And that same program is what we have here in Millville. So Club
wow.
21, it's part of the
Okay.
21st Century Community Learning Centers.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah, so in Buna, the program was called Boost. And it was like no one ever heard of it. So it was a running joke in Buna. They called me Papa Boost. So, but I've had a lot of wonderful things happen. So when I was in Buna as, running that program, had a lot of success. And again, it opened the door to become a vice principal in Buna.
Oh, wow. How young were you?
I was so young, I was in my mid-20s.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But the challenging part to that was I was now the administrator to teachers who taught me when I was in school. So you want to learn a lot about yourself, you do that.
Do you have my cousin Joe Baruffi?
I did. So Joe, of course, I was, raised with his family,
his daughter,
and
you
Joe
graduated.
was my school counselor for a year at the middle school. Yeah, so Mr. Baruffi's a good man.
Yeah, he is.
we
He's the
love
mayor
him.
again. He's back as the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wonderful.
a great guy. He really is. His father-in-law and my mother were first cousins, and our grandparents were my mother's family. They had 9 boys and 3 girls. It was the Curley family, and Harry Curley was the mayor of Vineland.
Right.
That's my cousin. Of course, that's Joe's father-in-law.
Okay.
And so that's how we're related and stuff. Of course, if you look around in Buna, everybody's related.
Yeah, I would think so. And that's when so in Buna, I became vice principal, then became principal. But you bring up that story of you're related. People say, why would you leave Buna? You were born and
my
raised
God,
there.
yeah.
But I was so young, and I was at a point where I was interviewing family members for jobs. So that, my mom was a secretary with a child study team. She retired from Buna schools. And, she would tell me, Matt, you're going to have an interview with your cousin. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
So where did you go?
So from Buna, I was an elementary principal in Buna. And believe it or not, at that time I was named. So I was an elementary principal at Danini Elementary School.
Okay.
Now,
all I know is Cleary, and the high school. That's all I know in Buna.
yeah. So then I was named the principal, not only Danini, but also in Newfield. So it was Egerton Memorial School.
Right.
So that was in Newfield. So I was traveling. I had 2 schools at that time. But again, I said I wanted to grow professionally, and I felt it was important for me to take that step. So I went to a town called Mullica Township out in Elwood, out in Sweetwater.
Right.
So I didn't know where it was at the time, but they had a middle school opening. So I said, let's go and interview for it. And it was wonderful. So I was the principal there at the middle school for 7 years. In that job, they had an elementary principal and a middle school principal, and I was that middle school principal. When the elementary principal retired, I had both schools. So it was around 700, 750 students. And that was a great job. And during that time, again, you're going to learn from me. I'm just constantly always pushing. I want the best for myself, want the best for the communities and the students. So I said, how do I become better? And, one of those things was getting my doctorate in education.
Wow.
So I went to Rowan University.
I saw that you got your doctorate from Rowan, when I was reading a resume on you. Wow.
Yeah.
You also went to Atlantic Community College for the first 2 years?
Yeah, so going back, I wanted to be a football player. That's what I was. So, Jim, what position you think I played?
A wide receiver.
Wide receiver. No, I was a center, right?
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I was a lineman, so I was a little bigger. I like to think I was a little bigger. But I don't think they were looking for college centers at 185 pounds at that time. And so, but I was just stuck on, I wanted to go to TCNJ. I wanted to play football there. So I was a little stubborn when I was 18, and that's where I wanted to go. And it came to that hard realization that I wasn't getting into the school. I was distraught. I said I couldn't believe it. But I believe I was putting that was done for a reason, I have a strong faith, and I believe it just made me work harder. So I went to Atlantic Cape Community College, and it humbled me, and it was a great experience. I had wonderful teachers, wonderful. So I'm a huge advocate for that, and I still am today. And then from there, I did transfer to Rowan University for the next 2 years.
Which is a good thing to be able to do. At the time I was there, they didn't have the doctorate program, but now it's a university. When I was there, it was this Glassboro State College, so it's come a long way.
Right.
That is really cool. We're talking with Matt Mazzoni, who is going to be September 1st, the new superintendent of schools for the city of Millville. He's currently the assistant superintendent in charge of age preschool up to grade 5, and we'll be back to talk about his successor and some other good things right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield. Those expensive repair bills get paid and at the mechanic of their choice. They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantee. Call CarShield now.
Call 1-800-890-2387.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. That ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the soon-to-be superintendent of schools for the city of Millville, Matt Mazzoni. And Matt is replacing Tony Trongone, who I know he thought the world of you too. I just thought Tony Trongone, you don't get any better than that, but you learn from a good one there as well.
Yeah, I was so fortunate the past 2 years. I didn't know much about Tony, but, I've read enough about him. And when the opportunity opened up for assistant superintendent, it was just I was pulled to that position. I always do tell a funny joke with Tony was when I was board approved, I was still in my role as superintendent in Folsom, for 2 months before transitioning. But Tony would set up meetings with me every week. And where do you think we met?
Up that way, maybe?
In a diner.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about Tony, we're going to eat at a diner. So that was where we had all of our meetings. Yeah.
We go to the Quinn.
But, with Tony, great personality,
Yeah.
down to earth, blue collar gentleman.
His dad had a gas station garage where they repaired cars and
mechanic.
stuff. Yeah.
But at the same sense, no one knows instruction as much as him. So
yeah.
Thorough, you know, definitely an instructional leader. So I learned a lot from him the past 2 years. We pushed each other. So I'm fortunate to have that, and I'm ready to take that next step along with him, assist in any way he can. So even today, he sends me always inspiring text messages.
That's
so
nice.
Tony means a lot to me.
And you also have a wonderful person, your assistant superintendent that you've worked with for several years.
Yeah, so again, coming into the role, I've known Stephanie DeRose.
That's right, you guys went to Buena, right?
Yeah. So she doesn't want to say that she's a little older than me, but
well,
she definitely looks better than me. Yeah,
well,
Stephanie.
You look good, but she looks good too.
Yeah, so, but again, working with Stephanie, what a strong suit she has.
Yeah.
I say,
really
she
like her.
has a great background, and she's real thorough in every step that she takes. So, I'm fortunate to have her on board, working closely with her.
Now, do you know who your other assistant will be?
So
do you get to choose?
We just posted that position
Okay.
today. So we'll start that process. Hopefully have a name board approved at September 26th.
Oh, okay.
So that's the goal. And they'll be in place, he or she, in November or December.
Do you know one of my favorite former police officers, Rick Cott? Oh, he was working at school, wasn't he?
Rick is one of our board members.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope he becomes something else in the city as well. In fact, I was trying to get Rick on this week. My God, what a triple header I'd have. You, Rick, and Senator Testa. I got Senator Testa tomorrow night. So Rick was going to let me know if he could make it on Thursday night. But, that's true. I forgot he's on the school board.
Yeah.
When I was the mayor, he was very active. He was the union rep for the police department. And what I really admire, of course, you're in great shape too. What I really admire about Rick is he's vegan.
Yeah.
And this was funny. We did the show, I guess Rick was a couple years ago, right? And we're out to the motorsports park. And I don't know if you've been there. You got to go eat there. It's fabulous food. Nobody knows about it because only the people that race cars usually go there, but it's open to everybody. So I do the show from there. Rick's with me. And I told the chef, I said, look, my guest is vegan. He said, okay. And Rick said, Jim, he put together one of the best vegan meals I've ever had. I said, that's great. I'm really glad to see that. And Rick looks fantastic, doesn't he?
Yeah, we talk about running. And, I would like to add that my wife is a nutrition coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's fantastic. What's her name?
So Kate.
Kate.
Yeah, my wife Kate. We've been married coming on 8 years.
And tell everybody how many wonderful children you have.
So we have 4 little girls.
Oh, that's great.
So they're watching, so I need to say their names.
Please
so we
do.
have Josephine, that's JoJo, so she's 7 years old. Alexandria, we call Alex, and she's 5 going to kindergarten.
Oh, that's great.
And we have Madison, Maddie, and she's 3 years old. And then we just have a baby at home who's going to be 7 months tomorrow, and her name is Grace.
And you don't have a lot of bloodshut eyes. Your wife, Kate, must be covering for you. Yeah. Is that your wife's name, Kate?
Kate, yeah.
She must be getting up with the little one.
Yeah, so the baby's so good.
Oh, that's great.
But, my wife, prior to becoming an online nutrition coach, she was in education also. So she was a reading specialist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Logan Township schools. So she keeps me honest and all these great ideas and initiatives we have, so she makes sure that, that you make sure you're training teachers, make sure you're being supportive every step of the way. So that's in my fabric as a family. So.
Well, you must eat well because you look great.
Yeah, so, that's
Kate's
the running.
giving you the right foods, right?
That's the running joke. She's like, we pack our lunch. We do food prep every Sunday, so every meal is made.
Oh, that's good.
And it makes it easier on our family. But when I bring that lunch home that wasn't eaten, she wants to know where I went out to eat.
Joke.
Yeah.
With Tony trying
with
to go
Tony,
to a diner.
Where'd you go with
Kate,
Tony
that's
today?
With a diner with Tony.
But again, I'm just going to reiterate, starting in this new role, even the previous 2 years, to do this well, you have to have a supportive family. So, I give everything, all those accolades to my wife. Thank you so much for supporting me every step of the way. I love you, babe.
Where did you meet?
So we met, funny story. So I was principal in Mullica Township, and one of our curriculum supervisors said, I have a perfect girl for you. I said, I've heard that before. But we did connect, and, so at that time, I was doing a lot of triathlons and CrossFit, the big thing called CrossFit. Yeah. And so that's my wife's background as well.
Oh, I see.
I did a lot of triathlons in my day. I've done 2 Ironmans.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're long races, but my wife still has the one step above me, so she has won a race before.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's
so
fabulous.
she's super fit, and
that's great.
More than that, she's sweet. So.
Well, and the wonderful combination, of course, that's nice, and I'm sure she's a sweetheart, is the fact that you both are into nutrition and exercise.
Right.
So you'll live to be 120.
Yeah, and we need that, and we're really excited that our girls watch us do that. Yeah. So we create that healthy lifestyle within our house. And that's important.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
So that's nice, too. The girls see what's the proper food to eat and don't eat a lot of junk, I'm sure.
We talk about, make sure they're eating that protein and then they're flexing their muscles. And we say, strong girls. That's a lot of language we use.
Yeah.
Be strong.
Do you know Jimmy McCarthy?
Yeah, I spoke to him today. And believe it or not, he lives in the same town as us as well.
That's right. I forgot.
So he's in South Henderson.
Well, he was on with me, and he does 200 grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
I try to make sure I get 60 in.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, but he walks and
he walks
all that
a lot.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah, so him and my wife are always talking. And I'm close with his wife, Katie. And you're like, how is he close? Because she's a teacher at Holly Heights. She teaches phys ed. Because I'm also the cookie dad, the Girl Scout cookie dad.
Oh.
So she runs the troop, and I'm now the Girl Scout. I do I'm the cookie dad there.
That's
nice. I got to stop eating the cookies.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, so you can hear just a great life.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I tell you, folks, this is the truth. Everybody I've talked to about Matt, love him. Everybody, I don't care who it is. And, we were talking about mutual friends. Dennis Carolla and I taught together at Deerfield Township. Jesse's one of your best friends. He's assistant principal
at Bridgeton High School.
Right. It is a small world when you think about it.
Yeah.
And all the people, with me, because of my cousin Joey Baruffi, that Buna connection's been there, and Joey's been the mayor a lot of the time. So, and all the people that I've met up there have been wonderful people. Oh, you know that. You grew up there.
Yeah.
Everybody there, they're just such good people. And, it's what Tony Trongone said it was Joe Baruffi said to me, Jim, what do they all have in common? I said, they're all Italian, and I love them. I haven't met an Italian that's not warm and friendly. Have you been to Italy yet?
No, I haven't. My mother has been there a couple of times.
Oh, my God, the people there are wonderful.
Yeah.
They have these trattorias or whatever. It's like you're going in their house, which you really are, to eat dinner. And it's like, wow, just very, very nice people. So
I married an Irish woman. So
well, that's good. That's my side of it.
Yeah.
Irish. That's great.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how Joey, he married my cousin Jill Curley.
Right.
Whose dad was the mayor of the city of Vineland. We're talking with Matt Mazzoni about the new things that are going to be coming up in the city of Millville School District, and we'll be doing more with that right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
You learn pretty fast that there are no shortcuts in racing or in life. One of my first attempts to deal with my own hair loss was a literal shortcut. Thankfully, my wife found Hair Club. I was shocked the Hair Club had virtually every solution possible. If I had known about Hair Club sooner, I never would have tried any of those overhyped advertised solutions. You can get your own free personalized consultation with a hair loss expert and be on your way to the finish line in no time. Call now.
Save 20% on select solutions using promo code Frankie. Call 800-597-3910.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the newly appointed superintendent of schools, Matt Mazzoni. Matt has been the assistant superintendent from preschool up to 5th grade and was selected by the school board just recently to be the superintendent to replace Tony Trongone. And I know Tony always spoke highly of you. And Matt has got a lot of jobs by taking over for Tony, because Tony did football, Tony did the Coach's Corner show, Tony did the Around Millville Public Schools show and all that stuff. So, but you'll do well with that too. Everybody will know you. Have you been to, well, it probably hasn't happened yet. Have you been to the chamber?
Yeah, I've been to the chamber for the luncheons.
Okay.
Yeah, very involved with that. And in January, we do the state of the district at the chamber luncheon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
right.
That goes very well.
Yeah, that's where I first met Tony, was at the chamber luncheon and stuff.
So we're looking forward to maintain that relationship, being in the
they're good
community.
people. Yeah, that's a great organization. So what are some of the things that you're looking to do to improve, I don't know how much better it can get, but to improve on things that are happening in the Millville School District?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we need to continue working on student achievement. So that's the number one area. So, we brought in, I can speak from an elementary standpoint, we brought in a lot of new programs. With that, we brought in a lot of professional development, that's support. So we are going into year 3 of a new English language arts program. I'm sure everybody heard it, ARC, American Reading Company.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll be pulling back some of that professional development, but we'll be honing in on that PD to make sure we support our new teachers, any teachers that are in need of further support. But we're looking forward to seeing more growth in that area. We're seeing that in our math department.
I did see the charts, yeah.
Yeah, so we need to maintain that. We also need to look at teacher retention. So we know what's out there, it's a competitive market. So we want to make sure everybody knows the great things that are happening in Millville. So that's going to be my job, working with HR, Scott Godfrey, and Karen McCaffrey do a wonderful job. So we're going to continue that momentum. So we're starting the school year this year very well staffed, very high percentage.
That's good.
Yeah, and then so just looking at next week, so we're amping everything up. So we have our admin retreat next week. So that's where we're going to be talking about the vision, and we're going to be talking about it's about looking at the past, and there's a legacy here in Millville.
Yeah.
So we want it to be about the orange and blue, and we want everyone speaking that same language. So to have that bold pride. So that's a number one factor. But with that, how do we constantly continue to innovate? So looking at those different opportunities. So we have a lot of CTE programs that are being offered, and that's wonderful. How can we continue to grow those programs? Also, just looking at upping our student achievement, our reading, students reading on grade level. So there's just a lot of factors. And when you look at Millville, we have around 5,300 students. So we're big. So there's a lot of different departments that are responsible for it. So my job is not just accountability, but to inspire and allow our administrators and teachers to take those chances. I want people to be happy here. I want them to see this as a home.
Yeah.
And with that, when teachers feel like this is a home, same with the students and our families. So we're going to work hard together. It's going to be hard, right? But you can tell I'm smiling. I want there to be a lot of energy behind that. So
You've got a little bit of energy yourself.
Yeah, I do. But I'm committed to be in Millville and the work that's ahead of us.
Yeah, that's great. That's really exciting, Matt. And I know that's what Tony was sort of gearing to do as well. And it's wonderful because the math, he brought the charts in and stuff, and I saw where the math did go up, right? And reading is important, and you know, and I guess one of the things that we didn't talk too much about was Joanne Burns and the Child Family Center. I mean, we are fortunate in Millville to give those kids an early head start at 3 and 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's she's amazing. My grandchildren went there. I think she knew the name of every single kid, their parents.
She sure does. So when I go over, I'm at CFC meeting with Joanne. Kids are walking by. She will stop our meeting, get up, and talk to every single kid in the hallway. I'm not going to say she's giving them candy, but Joanne she's an advocate first and foremost. So she will constantly fight for our students and their families. So when you have leaders like that, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, she's a wonderful. And before we went on the air, we were talking about a mutual friend that Matt and my son Gary have, and of course me too, with Steve Saul, who just retired. Yeah. Can't believe he's retiring. He's too young.
Yeah.
He's mid-50s.
Yeah. And, Steve sounds like he made some good decisions and, financially.
That's
so he's
good.
a smart person, but more so than smart and a great school leader. I was just fortunate to have somebody like him. I spoke to him on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's great.
Just what a respectful man.
Yeah.
And that was represented through the entire Holly Heights Hawks.
That's great.
And now, it's been a great transition as he's, going into retirement.
Right.
And now we'll have Jason Dorm as the principal.
Who's one of my favorite people, too.
He is. And the way I look at Jason is I describe him to anybody. I say to him, he's a winner.
Yes, he is.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
So when you have people like him, I'm just excited. So does he have a lot to learn? Yeah, so do I. So does everybody. But he has that growth mindset.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to start my tenure with him as well.
Well, let me tell you something. Nobody works harder than his father. His dad has advanced treads. He walks 7 miles a day in that shop. They are so busy, and one of the nicest people in the whole family. I mean, just really great people. And we're lucky in Millville. Talk about Steve, talk about Jason. We could go down the list.
Right.
Joanne and everybody else. We're so very fortunate to have those. I think of the Hogan lady,
Renee.
I mean, there's another. She's Girl Scout cookies too. I think
she was. She helps me with the Girl Scout cookies. Yeah.
But there's so many fantastic people, and we're blessed. You're blessed to have them with you, and you got a lot of years to go. As you're only 44 years old, so you're a young kid. See.
That's it. Keep saying that. I want to stay young.
Well, with your energy and I have a book because I had cancer, and I have a book on my end table that I read, and it's all about food, proper food, what to eat, and all that stuff. And in fact, I've had people, even I guess my cancer doctor, but other people have said, when you go shopping, and I'm sure Kate, your wife, will know this too, try to stay the outer part of the shop right or wherever you're going, because that's where the fresh fruits are and the vegetables and all that stuff. In the inner part of the aisles, that's where all the processed food is, which is not good for you.
Right.
It really isn't. And I've sort of been leaning a little bit towards vegan. I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat red meat.
You don't?
No. No, I haven't. In fact, this is a funny story. I mean, gosh, it was 1965, so I don't know how many years that was. But I had a fundraiser for Ed Salmon and I were running for county freeholder at the time. Joe Biden was the featured speaker for the fundraiser to draw people in. He was a senator from Delaware. So anyway, that day we were campaigning. I didn't get a chance to eat. I get to dinner and they're having filet mignon. They didn't have anything else. I ate that, and Matt, I think that thing sat in my stomach for a week. I couldn't digest it.
Right.
I don't think we're meant to eat red meat, I really don't. And I mean, you look at Rick, you look at you, I'm sure Kate's beautiful and in great shape. I mean, you are what you eat. There is no question. I'm proud of you guys to do that. And like I say, everything I have, and I also, I luckily, I'd be dead today if it wasn't for Dr. Attia. I had that sleeve surgery, so I have half a stomach.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful because I can only eat half a platter. So I get the other platter, but I always eat healthy stuff. But you can't eat spaghetti, you can't eat rice, you can't eat macaroni and cheese because they won't go down. So I've learned there's a vegetable pasta that I really like, and things, and there's garbanzo beans and things that you can have. So you adjust, and I feel good. I really do. So it's
we've done all the different pastas. So we've done the zucchini pasta.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. Yeah. And it's healthy.
So the biggest challenge. So my wife will say, it's everything's in moderation. So
yes, that's true.
Because we are challenged. Like look at today I put in a long day.
So you're still working.
Yeah, still it's always working. So it's not where you have vegetables right. So again, we try to make smart decisions by food prepping, but do everything in moderation, and it's also being active.
Yeah.
Go for walks. Yeah. And whatnot. So in this high stress kind of job, I look to make sure that I'm maintaining getting good sleep, eating a balanced diet, and my wife and I just signed up for a half marathon in November. So as much as this is challenging, we want to keep pushing. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. That's fantastic. That is so wonderful. To and you're both on the same page, which really helps. Makes it because coming back to Dr. Attia. He's my weight loss surgeon. I'd be 300 pounds if it wasn't for him.
Right.
So thank God I feel good. I'm the same weight I was in high school.
Beautiful.
Like 185. And I could have been the center, I guess, of the football team, but I worked all the time, Matt. I never, ever did anything. I worked since the time I was 13. Yeah. But my father, you grew up on a farm too.
Right.
And we had a little bit of a farm, like a truck farm. And my dad had sand trucks, and I cut all the neighbors' lawns and all that stuff. I was born up where Walmart is in Millville. My dad owned 5 acres there and sold that land there. But I always love to work and keep busy. I get bored easy. I have ADD, in case you haven't figured that out. But I really do. I got to keep busy. I just, I always say, they said, Jim, when are you going to retire? I said, when I drop dead right here.
That's it.
And I'll have Christy Funeral Home now come pick me up and take me over and do the embalmment, and that'll be it. But I think it's important. And gosh, you can see it in your face how much you love what you do.
Yeah, sure do.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. And I look forward to growing this relationship and coming back and reporting out, the progress we're making.
Yeah. And especially with our Millville Public Schools, you can, it's your show. You can put up all those charts and bring your people.
Right, and I want to highlight the great things that are happening in Millville. And we have a lot of, like you said, we got a lot of great leaders, teacher leaders, doing some good stuff. Yeah. So we need to highlight that and what's happening well in the schools.
Good point. We're talking with Matt Mazzoni. September 1st will be the superintendent of schools for the city of Millville. We'll be back to talk more with Matt right after these messages.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. That ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield. Those expensive repair bills get paid and at the mechanic of their choice. They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantee. Call CarShield now.
Call 1-800-890-2387.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the new superintendent of schools as of September 1st for the city of Millville, Matt Mazzoni, who has been all over South Jersey. And Matt, you talk about football. You played center, right?
Yeah, so I was center.
Was the team better then than it is now?
So when I played in Buna? Yeah,
okay,
we were.
It hasn't been real good lately.
No, we were really good.
That's good.
So at that time, I graduated high school in '98. That was when only 4 teams made it to the playoffs.
Okay.
So we were Group 2. So my junior year, we lost to Hamilton. But I always tell the story. So yeah, we being at Buna, that was Hamilton might not have saw us as their rival, but we did.
Yeah.
But my senior year, we were able to beat them. And we had a few injuries. When you're in a Group 2 and you have a few injuries,
it's tough.
So we did not move on my senior year, but we were highly, we were ranked like top 10 in South Jersey at that time.
Yeah, Buna always had a good football program.
We had a running back at that time, Keon Davis. So Keon went on to, he was the best fullback I've seen. So he didn't go to play college ball, but was drafted out of high school by the Florida Marlins as a catcher.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And then you might have, he lives in Vineland, and just recently he was pro boxing.
Oh, wow.
Keon, great guy.
Tommy LaManna, do you know Tommy? He's my buddy.
Tommy? No.
Tommy LaManna is the tallest middleweight you'll ever see in your life.
Okay.
And just a wonderful, I did his wedding, in fact. Just a wonderful guy. And I've watched his bouts. He's got that reach. The average middleweight is maybe 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
Tommy's like 6'1" or something. So he's got the reach on the poor guy. And he's been doing very well. He boxed for a national championship, national belt out in California, and he didn't even last the first round. But he made a lot of money for making it. But he's been winning a lot of the local tournaments and stuff like that. So.
Here's a fun fact with playing Buna football. So I was the center, a wing T center. So that means I was blocking down a whole lot and getting up the linebackers.
Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
So I was the center. Started 3 years at Buna, and my brother, my twin brother, was the quarterback.
Oh, wow.
So, so we did not mess up many exchanges between us.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. Wow.
The Mazzoni connection.
I guess he's about your size too?
No, so.
Is he bigger?
Yeah, he's a lot taller, so. And he's, I don't know, he's probably, don't talk about me, but he's a New Jersey State Trooper, sergeant.
Great. Thank you for serving.
That's he's great. Phenomenal.
And obviously he's 44 also. He's still young.
I have to also say my sister. So my sister, my older sister, so she works at the other district, that red and gray. We don't like talking about them too much, but Stephanie is a school a social worker at Vineland High School.
That's nice.
Yeah, so all the Mazzonis were in the service industry.
Oh, that is
serving
good.
The communities.
That is wonderful to be able to do that. That's fantastic. And you had. Growing up, your mom and dad must have been fantastic people. And your mom, is your dad still around?
No, so my father passed in 2001.
Okay,
So young,
he was young.
so 52.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young age.
Well, you'll be living to at least 120.
Yeah.
You and Kate, right?
That's it.
Which is,
But my mom is still so my mom is retired from the schools and she's enjoying herself traveling a little bit.
And you were telling me she was living up
in Glassboro
area, where nice places where they can enjoy company of the people that are there.
And it was nice at the board meeting when I was approved on Monday night. So my mom wanted to be there, my brother,
nice.
my sister. So it was definitely emotional.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
So did you ever dream you'd be where you are at 44 years old?
No. So, like I'm not one to stop and, the saying, smell the roses. I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
I'm humble and I'd rather like support everybody and, but, it's been surreal, saying, wow, because growing up, being in Buna in the Vineland area, you get the Daily Journal.
Yeah.
And, what this job means, I mean, I've followed it forever. Millville is such a powerful place, a great community. And now to say, you're going to be the leader of the school district,
50-some hundred kids, too.
Yeah. So it's humbling, to say the least. But I'm up for that challenge. And, you're going to find with me is I collaborate a lot. So, I'm going to be leaning on all the stakeholders here to make those best decisions.
Yeah, that's nice. Where you can include everybody and let them feel like they're part of the progress.
And they are, right? Because it's not. I'm not coming in here to fix anything. It's about continuing that growth here.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing it. So, coming here, I was just in awe. There's so many great things happening. A lot of great people I get to work with every single day. So we'll just continue doing that.
The only thing I'm worried about is where you're going to hold in 30 years your retirement dinner. We had the retirement for Tony.
Oh, man.
Did you go to that?
I did.
Yeah, that was
big.
Packed, wasn't it?
That
wow.
was big.
Yeah. Lucians. It was at Lucians, yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to think about those days.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
you got so far to go.
The board asked me, like, what are you going to do next? Like, what's your 10-year plan?
You can't retire now.
That's what I said. I'm like,
44.
Yeah, we're going to just stay here and we're going to continue doing great things.
Yeah. And you got a lot of great potential, too. Good people working with you.
Right.
And, all the nice facilities and, the new high school. I mean, it's a lot. And the new field. Thank you, Tony. It's beautiful.
Beautiful field.
That really is. And we've got some great athletes. Zero Brooks.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Now those kids are allowed to get money.
Right.
An NIL program, right?
Yeah, so the colleges are coming in every single day.
He's going to Alabama?
He's going to Alabama.
Wow. What a heck of a football player.
Looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Here with all the teams, just not football, but there's so many great sports here.
Yeah.
I was a football guy, as you know that, but with my 4 girls, 3 of them soccer. So we're a huge soccer.
Yeah.
So even my daughters are even getting on me. They're like, Daddy, you're a soccer coach. You're not a football coach. You're a soccer coach. So, and I do, of course, I coach on the weekends for my girls.
That's super.
But, I can't wait just to get involved and how I can be supportive. I mean, you talk about the wonderful arts and music that we have. So tomorrow, Rob DeSantis has his summer band camp at Lakeside.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
So just,
I forgot about how fabulous the band is, too. Yeah,
so, that's what I'm excited to, really highlight those things even more than they've already been.
Well, yeah. And as you think about all the great things, the great people that are there, my gosh, Rob has done such a fantastic job.
Yeah, he sure has.
It really is. But that's good that you know soccer, because I get a lot of flack from people. You don't show soccer. Well, I'm trying to find. I don't know play-by-play. I don't know how to do soccer.
Yeah.
You know soccer.
Yeah.
We'll just have to get Bob Connor or some Ron Dorm or some wonderful sponsor that's good, that does it for the kids, to do some soccer. And what's nice now too, you have the Wheaton Field, they can do the soccer there.
Right.
I don't know if you ever heard this story. To Tony's credit, several years ago, he said to me, Jim, I want to do field hockey. I said, okay. And somebody said to him, Claudia's never going to let you do it out there next to the high school, because it's just not, or no, she wouldn't let him do it at Wheaton Field.
Okay.
So anyway, we worked with Vineland. We did the game at Vineland, and Tony did some of the play-by-play, and he had some woman that did it with him. And it was a fabulous meet, a fabulous, field hockey competition.
Right.
And Millville won. Claudia McCarthy's granddaughter scored one of the goals, and that goal set the all-time Millville High School field hockey record. And she was able to go take the ball over and give it to her grandmom. That was all on TV.
All on TV.
It was really nice.
That's perfect.
And as you know now, your family can watch you wherever they are on YouTube or Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So were they on Facebook tonight or YouTube?
No, they were at Low Gymnastics.
Okay.
So my wife, I say, make sure you're on so the girls see it. She's like, I'm running around with the girls, but of course they'll watch it.
Yeah,
and we would do it even when Tony was on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so they were like, there's Mr. Tony. Yeah.
What a great guy. Oh, my God. I really thought the world of that man, too. Just a super person. And it was so sad when I saw he was retiring, but then when I heard that they hired you, I said, okay, they've done very well. School board, thank you. I don't know if you know Debbie Malone, obviously on the school board. And 4 years ago, in the summertime, Debbie and Larry and I belonged to the sailing club in Millville, and we were hanging out. And Debbie said to me, you wait till you meet the new superintendent of schools. He's fantastic. Well, I did. And I said, Debbie, you were right. He is phenomenal. Then comes along Matt Mazzoni, and she's in France, actually. I texted her. Yeah. I said, you're keeping up the good work, girl. You got a fantastic superintendent with Matt. So I'm proud of the school board. I know they donate their time. And Charlie Flickinger is a good friend. Mike Wilden. I know a lot of the people in the school board. I forgot Rick Cott was on there because is a great addition to it as well.
And we have to give credit to Kim Cardy as the president.
That's right,
so she is a champion for not just even students, but even, every day, like even today, driving into work, we're talking on the phone, and she's talking about how we can be supportive. What can we do for our staff?
Right.
So
that's good.
You have somebody very smart there
she is very
and
intelligent
caring,
lady.
and her girls are in the district. So
that's good. I mean, we're fortunate that a good school board and the people
so
want to be there, and they really care. We'll be back to wrap up the program with Matt Mazzoni, new superintendent of schools for the city of Millville, September 1st. He takes over. Currently, he's assistant superintendent. We'll be back in a moment.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield. Those expensive repair bills get paid and at the mechanic of their choice. They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantee. Call CarShield now.
Call 1-800-890-2387.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. That ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. That building behind me is where this man's office happens to be. And I got to tell you, this is a funny story. In that building, I was telling Matt before I went on the air, I started substituting at 17 in Millville. I was actually certified to do it then. So I guess I turned 18 by the time I got into Culver School. And my cousin was a 5th grade teacher there. And I was substituting for an older woman who would go get a physical once a year or something like that. So she was off for 2 days. So I go in and I'm subbing for 6th grade class. So I come back at lunchtime on Friday, and my cousin, Ann, who was the pilot, she said, Jim, come here. I said, what's that? She said, I want to tell you something. She said, something's going to happen. It's not bad. Don't get upset. I'm thinking, what in the world's going to happen? I don't understand this. So anyway, I walk in the classroom, Matt, and all of a sudden the kids all get up and they roll fruit up the aisle to me.
Right.
It's called the old-fashioned fruit roll. I'd never heard of it and probably never will, but it happened right there in that school. That was cool. But I figure it was pretty easy because the older lady didn't have my sense of humor. And, being young, I joked around. They liked that. So
it's amazing. You were 17 years old.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Well, I went to Catholic school, and I graduated at 17 in June. And then a week later, I went to Glassboro, took 9 credits. You only needed 6 to sub. So I was like, okay. My 18th birthday, I taught girls phys ed at Bacon School. That was interesting,
Yeah.
But I had a lot of special ed students, and I got the shop classes because it was hard to find a man, for the places they need for substituting and stuff like that. But I loved it. Met so many great people and just had a wonderful time. And of course, I love people, and kids are people. They're young people. And I really enjoyed them. This was funny. One of my former students, I haven't gotten a chance to see him. One of my best friends is at Genesis. One of my former special ed students is at Genesis. And I was in the other day to go see my best friend Joe, and somebody mentioned this fellow, Dave. I won't mention his last name. And I said to the woman, I said, is that one of the people I would have taught? She said, you couldn't have taught him. He's 71 years old. I said, lady, I did teach him because I was 20 and he was 13. So there's 7 years difference between us. But I'll have to see. Hopefully he's doing okay. But time flies, boy. Say here. But Matt, it does. Honestly, when I was a freeholder, I went to an RSVP luncheon every year, and I lost after 9 years of being on the freeholder board. So the last luncheon I went to, I said to the people there, I said, I can't believe, I was your age then, I said, I can't believe those past 9 years have flown by. They said, Jim, you wait till you get to be our age. Well, I am their age, and man, it goes by like a jet plane.
Yeah, I always think back. So I started education. It was 2002, and I was hired as a special education teacher in Buna. And, when you look at what we do now for teacher preparation, so we have new teacher orientation, and they're meeting with, they all have mentors through the state.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so there's so many supports, and it's our job to make sure that they feel supportive. But I remember, when I started in 2002, they put me in a classroom, and I'm going to use that terminology, classroom, very lightly.
Oh, I know where you're going. I was in that same classroom, buddy.
In Cleary?
No, in Millville. Same thing of what you want to say.
At Cleary Middle School at that time, it was the old locker room. So the classroom was the locker room. So it was all pipes exposed, and there were bathrooms, and that was and believe it or not, the classroom that I taught in is part of one of the largest lawsuits out there. So remember the Abbott ruling that we fall under here in Millville. Buna sued at that time because they said they weren't they should have been considered under that Abbott ruling. So it's called the Bacon case. So Mrs. Bacon brought that case and won. So Buna is identified as a Bacon school. So there's Abbott schools and then there's Bacon's. And the whole lawsuit was about the classroom I taught in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's just so different how education has moved.
I was self-contained. My classroom was right next to the cafeteria where they worked, at the kitchen. And it was a self-contained 15 kids, all classifications. Yeah. And the principal said to me, Jim, I'm not going to observe you. I don't know what you're doing. God bless you to be able to do it.
Keep it up.
Yeah, just
keep it up.
Do it. Yeah. And one of those people I was talking about, he's at Genesis, and he actually worked for me for a while and stuff. And, again, people. It's wonderful. And you love people, too. I mean, that's what's the... Now, I don't know if you love this guy. I do. Dominic Carapelli. Do you know him?
Yeah, of course.
You know what he said?
What did Dominic say?
Hey, Jim, if he ever stops ducking me on the golf course, you can televise or commentate the golf match. So, do you play golf too?
So, you don't believe it, I played in high school, and then I was a caddy in college when I was, so as we got with the farm and whatnot, but I then started working at Seaview Marriott. I did that for one summer in the fall. But besides that, like, there's not a lot of time to be on a golf course.
I love Dom.
Yeah.
What a super guy.
I want to get back. I tell my wife that. She says, well, you got to look at all your hobbies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got to put a priority here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could join Mike Trout's golf course, you know.
Can you get me out there?
Well, yeah, they need six-figure. Somebody just told me yesterday that, was it Trey Turner, was putting up $1 million, and somebody else, I think it's, I don't know if it's 150, 250,000, but you can play on the silica sand one. That's open to the public. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
We talk about it every day, how we're going to get on there. We want to have our admin retreat one day.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
so.
And you can help with the, well, they do run the tournament. You could play in the Thunderbolt Club tournament that Mike sponsors. That would give you a chance.
There we go.
Have you met Mike?
You know what? So I did meet him at church.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so we both go to True North Church.
Uh-huh.
And like I was telling you, I'm excited. True North is now going to the old Sears building.
Yeah, in Vineland.
Yeah,
That's
on
fabulous. It'll be cool.
Delsey and Landis. So.
Wow, it's super. It's closer for Mike.
Yeah.
He's out
So I was
here.
able to see Mike Trout at church.
Yeah, what a super guy. I got to tell you a story, and I'll let you go. Mike's dad ran with me for city commission, and I was number 1, so I got to be mayor. He was number 2. And we had a luncheon, and after the luncheon, Mike's 5 years old. He comes up to me and he goes, Mr. Mayor, when I get to be a big man, I want to be the mayor too. And when I see him, he goes, Jim, no way. I wouldn't want that job. But it was cute. And we've done well. 1 year, Matt, I put this Millville night together.
Right.
We made $40,000 for the Phillies. $8 a ticket. We sold 5,000 tickets.
5,000 tickets.
5,000
Wow.
tickets because of Mike. So
Yeah.
I got $40,000.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, help the projects in Millville and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it was great to
Yeah.
see you. We'll
Jim,
have to
I
do this
appreciate
every
it.
week.
Yeah.
It was good to see you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate, for sharing him and all your. So what's your daughter's names again?
So we have JoJo, Alex, Maddie, and Grace.
I love all those names. And Grace, my granddaughter's Grace, so I got a Grace.
Yeah.
And she's going to be a nurse practitioner.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, she just got graduated University
Congrats.
of Delaware.
Yeah, nice.
She's quite a bit older than your Grace.
Yeah.
Your Grace is the baby.
She's the baby,
8 months
7
old.
months.
7 months. That's great. Anyway, thank you so much,
Thank
Matt,
you,
and
Jim.
good luck. And anything we can do to help you, please let
Appreciate
me know.
it.
George Cushia, thank you. George Cuccia, thank you for producing the show today. And I thank you all for joining us. Our special guest has been a new superintendent of schools for Millville starting September 1st, Matt Mazzoni. Take care, folks. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.